All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Gold, as you now all know, and I welcome to CLARKE radio and television station where they giving a back to back as it is suburb, as it drop. Still on this Bola Ahmed Tinubu victory on in the Supreme Court of Law, and also Robert Clark, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Robert Clark has blamed the 1999 Nigerian constitution for the recent electoral litigations over the years and has said there will be no end to these electoral issues until the law is being amended.
Let me be honest with you, Shehu. If we are not careful in Nigeria, for the next 50 years, trying to build an electoral system in Nigeria will always be a failure with all the laws that we have now. The problem in Nigeria today is not INEC. That is not the problem in Nigeria. The problem in Nigeria is that for one reason or the other, the enabling law, as it is today, will not help the country. For instance, the Constitution says every Nigerian has a right, the freedom to vote. But the same Constitution now says, oh, you can only vote if you are a party member. What freedom has the Constitution given me? I, Robert Clark, cannot contest an election in Nigeria because I don't belong to a political party. When I know that a political party as it exists today in Nigeria is the very basis of all the problems we have. If you do not want to be part of the system, then you don't vote. And if you don't vote, there's nothing you can do. The problem today is that the system we have, except it is vigorously looked into, we will continue for every 4 years to do the same thing we are doing for the next 20 years. I started with this constitution in 1999. Today, 2023, there has been no difference. Every 4 years, we do a roundabout trekking and come back to the same point. We've done about 6 or 7 election petitions, and as you rightly said, no court has turned, or the Supreme Court has never, set aside any election result in Nigeria. Why should they? When the law says whatever the umpire does is by law presumed to be correct. So once the umpire, which is INEC, presents documents to the tribunal and says, oh, I have done my job, these are the results. If you are not happy, then come and challenge me and bring your own result. That is what is happening. We have to look at that aspect first. We have to make sure that INEC should not be given that advantage of presenting documents and sitting down, and the courts have no alternative than to accept them as correct. Now,
so you think that we need to urgently look at, is it the Constitution in that respect or the electoral law? Which one do you think needs an urgent alteration in respect of what you said?
For us not to come back 4 years' time to come and be talking the same thing that we are doing today, we must amend the 1999 Constitution to remove that section that says to be able to contest an election, you must belong to a political party. You see, the problem in Nigeria today are the political parties. They are the people that are causing all this problem. Do you know how many cases come pre-election matters, election matters, post-election matters? They have been created by the politicians who drafted the Constitution, so that the same scenario will continue to happen every 4 years. the problem is not with INEC. The problem is not because you and I are Nigerians. No. The problem is in the system that allows you and I to manipulate it. Most of what is happening today is the manipulation. No matter how good INEC is, no matter how presentable their papers are, once Nigerians like you and I, who are all crooks, don't let any Nigerian come and tell me that it's not a crook. Every Nigeria today, we are all crooks. We are spoiling our country.
Clarke.
And if we don't stop, yes, please.
Some of us are not crooks, sir.
I know. I used,
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I didn't mention any name, so that nobody will sue me. You see what I mean? Are you Mr. You? Are you Mr. You?
Some of us are legitimately trying to do the right things every day.
I cannot say, Robert Clarke, I'm legitimate. If I have a system that allows me to dip my hand and take away the country's money and nobody queries me, I am clean. So what I'm saying, Sheung, is that the law that we operate is the problem we have. And if we don't sit down and change the law and make sure that the law, and that is what allows other countries to look better than us, it is because the law is there. Because I, as Robert Clarke, in my local government, I cannot contest election. Then I see somebody who has been doing every Jankara method, comes and asks for vote. Once he belongs to a political party, they bring him in. So we have to change the constitution.
All right, Robert Clarke has also said on the matters of the lawyer of the Labour parties and that of the PDP, he said they have not displayed a good sense of legal practice. I am sorry to say that the lawyer have not done enough.
Not within the jurisdictional, conference of the Nigerian courts. Look, let us be honest with ourselves. Lawyers do not manufacture evidence. If evidence is available and they are aware of the evidence, their lawyers should have worked higher than what they have done now to have assembled all these facts. Failure, one, to assemble the facts at all, because they never brought these facts. And bringing these facts now at the time that the courts have, finished with the original matter, definitely they should have known that for any court in Nigeria to assume jurisdictional powers in a matter that has been declared sui juris, that has been declared as an election matter, which is governed by its own strict laws, I don't see why they could even think of bringing such a matter in directly to the Supreme Court. Their lapses are so much. They have not done a thorough, and I'm sorry to say this, I am sorry to say this, if not that this is politics we are talking about. No lawyer will be so tardy as to know what the law is, refuse to do what the law says he should do, and still believes that the law on its own can assume jurisdiction in which it is clear that it has no power to do.
So, Chief Clarke, you're saying that, apologies, you're saying that Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi had a chance, but it looks like their lawyers bungled the case. Is that what you're saying?
I am not, with due respect to you, Sheung, I am not saying they fumbled the case. What I am saying is that they have not displayed a good sense of legal practitioners. They knew, and God bless all of us, we don't work for money alone. We work for prestige. We work on the facts, and we ensure that the law, carries the day if it has to. But where the law is not allowed to put its head up in a proceedings, it means there is another law which prohibits their lawyers to have brought in it. They know it. They still decided either to please their supporters and allow such a matter to come before the Supreme Court.
So you see a problem of due diligence on the side of the councils?
Seun, please don't drag me too much in this matter. I will not allow any junior in my chambers, even 1 or 2 years old, to carry such a brief to go and argue in a court when I have looked into all the facts, and the facts are very clear. There's a limitation of time wherein in election matters you can or you cannot do certain things. They had the opportunity as a pre-election matter. They never brought it out. They had the opportunity as a matter within a tribunal's case. They never brought it. They are now coming and bringing matters that should have been argued in the lower tribunal, and where the Supreme Court will now be receiving such evidence as an appellate matter and not as an original jurisdictional matter. I am sorry to say the lawyers have not done enough.
All right, now coming to the Supreme Court judgment, Robert Clark has also said the PDP has no point at all. They did not do their homework before coming to the court. Even the Labour Party never won the election on any ground.
The party should sit down, reorganize themselves, get good hands to look after their affairs, get better people who can seek out information for them. Because if you don't bring a matter to the court will not help you. The court is not a Father Christmas. If Atiku had Tinubu's dossier 20 years ago and did not bring it and now wants to blame the Supreme Court, I think they are overblowing, everything. We are not all fools. Let them do their work well first. Once they do their work, then we may join them in fighting on their behalf. But on the matter of this appeal, the PDP has no point at all. They didn't do their homework before coming to the court.
What about the grievance of the Labour Party, Chief Clarke? I mean, there are those who believe in the Labour Party that their mandate has been stolen by Bola Tinubu and the APC.
What has been stolen? Is it by electoral decision? The Labour Party never won the election on any grounds. They did not have the highest votes. They did not have the votes of all 25% of all the 36 states. Then what has been stolen? You cannot steal what you don't have.
All right, now coming down to the 2022, the presidential election judgment that happened yesterday about how the judges give the judgment on this matter. Now, this is the insight of this senior advocate, Robert Clark, has also given a word on this note. He said the Supreme Court judgment did not come to me as a surprise. Yes, because it doesn't come to anyone as a surprise. Let's hear it.
I have seen that was going to be a unanimous judgment, because except, any other matter that might have been brought before the court, all the former matters coming up from the first tribunal sitting were correct and were well treated. The preliminary question of forgery the judgment did not come to me as a surprise. So nothing came to me today as a surprise, because they were all expected as they are.
Okay, so let's begin with that, because that was what the justices, the lead judge in that particular matter ruled on the application by Atiku Abubakar and his lawyers to apply for a fresh evidence, which was brought, the deposition from Chicago, saying that there were some fraudulent actions of forgery allegations of forgery against President Bola Tinubu. Why do you feel? Because they have their own case law to back their own argument. Why did you think that fell flat on his face?
Let me be honest with you. In any civil matter, you look at the matter relating to criminal jurisprudence. The law says you have to prove such by, not only the preponderance of evidence, but it must be based on strict proof of facts and, beyond any reasonable doubt. Now the law is very also clear, and I was not expecting anything different tonight or today, because I am not blaming the lawyers, and that's the last thing I will always want to do. But I am sorry to say that the lawyers, with due respect to them, should have done a better job in this regard. As the Supreme Court said, if you have facts that were available before the trial started and you did not bring them into the trial court, knowing fully well that if you go to the Supreme Court is going to be a court of appeal and not a first instance. Therefore, if you intend to use any evidence in the Supreme Court, you must have ensured that such evidence must have passed through the original jurisdiction of the lower court. You will have seen from the judgment of the Supreme Court that jurisdiction played a very important role in the determination of that matter. The Supreme Court says, look, we lack jurisdiction. By law, we are an appellate court. We cannot take up a new matter that was not canvassed at the lower court. So, if you did not canvass a matter at the lower court, and you wanted the Supreme Court to take the matter as a fresh matter, the obstacles are there for you to meet. So the Supreme Court was very clear that we are not a court of first instance. For us to take up, we must first ensure that we have jurisdiction under the law. And they, surmised and said, look, we do not have that jurisdiction. So jurisdiction played a very important role in the determination of that motion to enable the matter to be brought before them by way of a motion.
All right, I think on this note, I will come to stay at this point. We wish Bola Ahmed Tinubu a big congratulations, and we wish him well in this journey, this 8 years journey, because I'm very sure it's not going to be 4 years journey, it's going to be 8 years journey. And we pray that after the 8 year journey, there will not be hanky-panky again in Nigeria. We pray for success for him and also wisdom to rule the country. We don't want to make it come turn dollar again, no. Make that not come become 5,000 per one, no. We don't want that one. Try as much as possible, Mr. President. The elected, the elected and the Supreme Court judgmental president. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We wish you well. Also, we wish all your cabinet and your executive well. Please put eyes on them. Nigerian is a problematic country. We are waiting for solution to all our problems. So me, I don't close my mouth for this junction. Make it not be like say, but I walk on too much. Tinubu, welcome to Nigeria. Tinubu, welcome to a place where hanky-panky here and there suburb. Tinubu, welcome to a place, a country with thousands of languages and with different requests and problems. I wish you well. I don't talk my own, no, and I don't put it on. Bye.